This woman just walks out of the mall after shopping, then there is smoke coming out of her mouth. Her body begins to burn inside, and soon she falls to the ground and dies. The lady in the blue jacket is terrified, as she watches the people around her die one by one. The lady notices that the ones who died were walking, so she immediately tells everyone not to move, or they will die. In just a few seconds, all the people who were walking have fallen to the ground, and the rest of them does not dare to move. Soon after, the FBI arrives. After a quick check, they find no airborne toxins, so they let Dr. Bishop in. Dr. Bishop is confused by what he sees. As a scientist, he has never seen anything so bizarre. Entering the mall, they find that there are some victims here as well. Dr. Bishop carefully examines everything, and then they find a large amount of virus in the blood of the victims through a microscope. Strangely enough, if the virus was spread through the air, then all the people in the mall would have already been infected. If it was the escalator handrail that had the virus, the first few contacts should have rubbed it out. Just as Dr. Bishop is thinking, one of the FBI agents notices something unusual. Dr. Bishop is shocked by what he sees, which is a sophisticated nanobot generator. The nanobots are able to self-replicate and they carry a large number of viruses. When these nanobots enter human bodies, the host will activate them simply by moving, which causes spontaneous combustion. It's like shaking a bottle of Pepsi. The longer the viruses stay in the body, the more sensitive they become, until even the slightest movement may activate them. So they must develop a cure as soon as possible, but they need an infected person to experiment on. Jessica volunteers to be the subject of the experiment, but on one condition: if the experiment fails, they must take care of her child.
You can use me.
Then they take Jessica back to the lab. However, halfway through the synthesis of the antidote, Jessica's body temperature rises rapidly, and she is about to burn. Olivia uses her cortexiphen ability to slow down Jessica's system, which temporarily stops the nanobots. A few minutes later, the antidote is successfully synthesized and Peter injects it into her body. Later, all the infected people are cured. Through the surveillance video, they find that the person who installed the device in the escalator is Jones. However, Dr. Bishop says that Jones does not have the ability to design nanobots. Suddenly, he thinks of someone, his old friend William, but William has passed away several years ago. On the other side, just as Agent Philip walks into the parking lot, he sees several people standing in place staring at something. Out of curiosity, he also looks over, and then he is completely shocked. A huge beam of light suddenly appears in the sky, burning a hole through a building, and then hitting the ground. All the windows of the building are shattered, and the whole city is shocked. According to Dr. Bishop's analysis, the light is actually sunlight, even though it is nighttime. It is someone using two private satellites to reflect the sunlight and then focus it on the building, but what is the purpose of doing so? Soon his assistant finds the answer through the city's geographic database. It turns out that there is a huge oil reservoir under the building, and once the light beam burns through the ground, it will ignite the oil. The science behind it is simple, just like using a magnifying glass to focus sunlight. If they don't stop the light in time, the whole city will burn down. To stop the light, they must shut down the antennas that control the satellites, so Dr. Bishop immediately calls agents Olivia and Peter. The two soon arrive at the building, where they locate the two antennas and decide to split up. Peter tells Olivia that they must turn off the antennas at the same time, or the beam could go off kilter. The two turn off the antennas at the same time, and the beam slowly disappears. Suddenly, Peter is attacked from behind. It is Jones, and they start a fight. Olivia immediately takes out her gun and aims at Jones. But then two security guards appear, they point their guns at Olivia and tell her to drop her weapon. Olivia drops her gun, and strangely enough, the two guards drop theirs just like she did. Olivia realizes that her cortexiphen ability is working again. She makes the guard stand still, and then she takes control of Peter's body, allowing him to get the upper hand. Peter punches Jones again and again, and eventually, he throws Jones to the antenna. On the other side, Dr. Bishop finally meets his old friend William in a warehouse.
Old friend.
I'm Movie Ape, thanks for watching.